It is quite late right now. I think it's 9 o'clock, coming up to 9, and I've had a migraine for a few hours now, and it was teetering on it throughout the day, but the last few hours have been quite bad. I'll bring you closer because of the wind. But yeah, the last few hours have been quite bad with my migraine. And when you've had migraines, as long as I have, you start to learn what you can push yourself to do, obviously, and also what benefits that migraine. So there are some migraines which I cannot leave the bed. There are some migraines where I can't eat. There are other migraines that all I can do is eat. And there are some migraines, not many, but some migraines that respond well to being in the cold air. Now, that's what I'm doing right now. It is not getting rid of my migraine. And I've not taken any painkiller either today, so I'm probably going to regret that. But I find the cold air helps. Like I said, it doesn't... I promise they are playing, they're not being aggressive. This migraine, I found myself constantly putting cold on my head, which tends to be my go-to for migraines. And because of that, I'd also been in the house for half the day, and I just wanted to get out. So although I feel a bit sick, I'm not dizzy. When I'm dizzy, I don't go on the walks because it's dangerous. But if I'm not dizzy and I'm just migraine-y, and yeah, if I feel a bit sick, but as long as I'm not dizzy, then I can usually force myself to go on a little bit of a walk. And I'm doing something different today. There were some stiles that I could climb over. There's one over there. I'll see if I can zoom in. Yeah. And I've been on the path that links to before. I've been around, but I've never been in this field. This field isn't mine. So I thought, well, I'll go and explore, and I'll go up high and see if I want to stick around for the sunset. I probably won't, because it is actually incredibly cold. I've had to put on I have like a fancy coat, which is this one. This is the one that if I'm going out on a date night, then I'll put this on because it's fancy. But I would never ever take it on dog walks. However, my crofting coat is too thick at the moment and makes you very sweaty and hot, and you know, there's times for that, especially in the winter, but right now with my migraine, that would just make me feel worse. And then I have another coat that's actually too thin for the wind that we've got at the moment, and my hoodies are all dirty or in the wash, so this was my choice today, which is fine. So as soon as I came back from Norway, I ended up getting migraines immediately. And in addition to that, my leg has been really quite bad. I technically should rest it right now. It's okay uphill. In fact, it's fine uphill. So I keep picking things to go uphill. But then I have to come downhill. That's when it's really bad. And on the flat, it's starting to get worse. So I have got an appointment booked with the GP because the issue is on a leg that I've had 2 surgeries on in the past. So I'm hoping that because of that, they'll not just send me a 6-month referral to a physio. I already know how to do all the physio. I had to do it for a year. I'm hoping that they will send me for an X-ray or maybe an MRI or both, because I do have a nail in there, a nail and bolt, I think. Ready? So I expect that they might just want to check that nothing's moved. You know, I've been thinking since I came back from Norway, I think I'm in a slightly better headspace when it comes to my mum and grief. I feel like that at the moment, but I think that's partly because I had some other personal stuff going on, and that kind of took my focus for a bit. And that personal stuff was making me question my life in Shetland and my life, like how I want it. And I won't go into specifics, obviously, but I was questioning a lot of things. And the reality is, growing up, the thing that I wanted most was animals, my own land, and I don't have everything that I would like in my life. My ultimate dream has always been to be a mum, and I'm not there yet. But everything else, land and animal-wise, is pretty much there. I have my land, I have a croft. I do enjoy lambing, as stressful as it can be, especially when it kind of just falls onto one person, which is me. I do still love it. And I was like, well, would I leave Shetland due to these other circumstances? And if I continue to own my own land, probably not. I'd probably experience life in different areas for a bit through a canal boat. That's like my second biggest dream, is like I have visions constantly of living in a canal boat, and I really want to go on holiday on a canal boat. I've been on canal boats before, but I really want to go like on an extended, like 2-week holiday on a canal boat. But yeah, or like go in a van conversion and travel the UK and then Europe and maybe even further. Like, you know, I've all those kind of romanticized dreams, which I'll no doubt live through my sister, because she will be doing a van conversion, hopefully, from next year, that I can then steal if she gets an automatic, because I don't have a manual license. I really do like my life here. I'm very lucky that I get to live this life, and I really do appreciate it. So I'm in a bit of a happier space. I just wish that I didn't get migraines in Shetland for some reason. I don't know why. As soon as I got into Shetland, my migraines returned. It is to do with the climate, and I think. Whew. Now I've got to go downhill because I'll be making my way back home. So this is where the pain in my knee will start. But at work, I'm on my feet all day long, so I haven't got a choice at the moment until I find out what exactly is going on with my knee. I have a feeling I know, and I've just got to await confirmation from it. And if it is what I think, then it's 3 to 6 weeks of constant elevated rest with ice, which is impossible in my job because I am on my feet all day for that. And if it still doesn't heal, then surgery, which if I were to have surgery, the referral for that plus actual surgery and then recovery time would take me probably into 2027 and pause my IVF yet again. So it's just, I mean, you know, when it comes to the IVF stuff, we've just had bad luck after bad luck, which is why it's just been delayed so many years, over and over and over. It's just like, wait, well, what's one more? What's one more delay? It's not like my eggs are aging. So, yeah. I would be tempted, actually, if I ended up finding out that I'm going to have surgery and there's going to be a particular timeline of delays, I think I'd be tempted to go to my clinic early and get my eggs harvested, because I'm 35 and stats show the quality of your eggs drop significantly from about 35. Obviously it's not an exact science because everybody is different, but you know, the stats are pretty compelling. So yeah, we'll see. One thing at a time. For now, I just got to find out what's going on with my knee. Ow. This is the worst time of year to have a bad knee as well, because of my, sorry, you probably can't see me, but yeah, it'd be like the worst time of year at the moment because of the lambs. So it's just so typical. Do you want to go around through that gap? We'll go through that gap. We have such lovely views. It's so quiet. And it's still so light out, which is lovely. This is the time of year that everyone really likes Shetland, like, or locals, because you've not got many tourists at the moment. Ooh. Oh, right, go through. Good dogs. Just climb over this rock wall. There you go. Yeah, you've not got many tourists. We had, I think, our first cruise ship the other day of the season come in. And we don't mind tourists up here, but you know, as locals, you do appreciate when you can enjoy everything without tourists sometimes, and yeah. And I mean, I'm lucky where I am that tourists never come around here. There's technically some trails, but no one but me and maybe one other person will ever be on them. So this area's nice. We have slightly less wind at the moment. That's not every day. That varies hugely. Shetland is it officially the windiest place in Britain? I can't remember, but it's very windy. So it's always really nice when you don't have any wind or very little wind. I like a tiny bit of a breeze, which is what we've got at the moment. Ready? Whoosh. Good dogs. On the way out for my walk today, I had to call the dogs back and make them heel while we went past a ewe, because she had just given birth, like literally just given birth, which I think caught the crofter, the farmer, off guard, because these particular sheep were loose for several days, and when your lambs are due, you don't like to risk them being loose, wandering off, wandering into wrong paddocks, and she was. So I feel like she's come a bit early, and actually the lamb is quite small, so I think she's still there now. I don't think he's moved her yet, so he'll probably move her in half an hour or so, just to see if she's, because I don't know if she's due a second one. It didn't look like she was, but depends how small the other one might be. So my lambs haven't arrived yet. They aren't due for another 2 weeks-ish, and then they'll be spread over about 3 weeks more than likely. But they could come early, so Shetlands can, all sheep can do this, but Shetland sheep in particular are, or any kind of sheep that's not really been changed much from the processes of breeding, they're a bit more wild. They have the ability to drop their lambs early if they feel like the weather is worthwhile and they feel like their babies have developed enough. And the same as if weather is really horrendous, they'll keep hold of their lambs and delay delivery. So that's likely what that sheep's done. She's likely come a bit early because the weather has turned out really, really nice and is been nice for a little bit now and is, I think, expected to stay nice. So mine might come early. There was one today that I was looking at who was laying down a lot more than what she normally would. They were all laying down a lot more, but that's partly because they're now they're starting to get into that later stage of they're feeling heavy and but one of them I was thinking, are you gonna give birth soon? So I'll keep an eye on her. I keep telling this to track my eye so that it doesn't go blurry, and the tracker keeps moving to things like my scarf. So I hope everything's gonna end up less blurry than it sometimes is. It does tend to work better outside. Inside I've noticed this camera's awful, but at focusing, I mean. There's a game that not really a game, but there's something that my sister, my mum and I would always do. And it was, if you won the lottery, what would you do with it? And we'd do variations of it. So if you won 5 million, or if you won 122 million like it was one year, or 178 million, or if you only won 1 million, you know, so because we then set ourselves challenges of how would we budget it. And if I won the lottery, I don't know, let's not go crazy. Let's say 5 million. Whatever your currency is, if you won the equivalent of £5 million, what would you do with it? And the reality is, for me, my life would go pretty unchanged, which I think says a very good thing with your life. In terms of like lifestyle, I don't think we'd change anything, especially when it's 5 million. You still got to make sure you can sustain your life and the life of people around you, and I'd be able to do as many IVF rounds as I wanted without fear of being out of cash. So I suppose that would be something that I would do. But I'd get my pigs. I love pigs, and I wouldn't raise them for meat or anything like that. I would just have a couple and they would be my pets. I'd have a Gloucestershire Old Spot and a Saddleback. They are my two favourite breeds of pig. I'd build a stable so that I've got a dedicated stable area. But all this stuff is like practical stuff that I can do now just with a bit of time and money. So my life wouldn't change really, apart from maybe going on a few more holidays. I'd buy myself a new ornament. There's a lady called Rose Norman. She is a ceramicist, and I stumbled on her once. I don't even remember how I came across her work, but I fell in love with her style of work, her pigs in particular. I just love them. But she's done various things that I really like, models, ornaments, or sculptures, I should say. And I think I'd probably buy out her stock. And I can't afford her stuff for quite a while at the moment, but I would love to just be able to buy a piece every year maybe. I'm not somebody who wants to collect a lot of stuff, but the stuff that I will collect I'm very sentimental about, or I really appreciate. And I love her stuff. I love her technique. I love the textures of everything. It's not for everybody's taste, but I love them. And so I've got various ones of her work dotted around my house, and they will eventually have better displays. I'm in the process of building them, so eventually they'll look all lovely and pretty and have light backdrops, no doubt. So we lost the tennis ball, but we still had the ball thrower. This is a very regular occurrence for us. Most dog walks, we will lose the ball at some point. And every year, my husband buys a huge bag or box full of tennis balls. Just because we have to replace them, because they do end up missing. So thanks for coming with me on my little walk this evening. It was just a chatty vlog today. There was nothing that I've done in particular this week to film. There's been various things going on this week that aren't right to film or didn't put me in the right frame of mind to film, and so I thought I just feel like chatting. I enjoyed that. My knee hates me right now, but I did enjoy it, so it was worth it.